So I'm going to ask him some questions, and then the floor is going to be open for you. Now, when you guys ask him a question, he can pass 2 questions, but apart from that, he has to answer them. So you can be as creative if you like. I know that Tom Burns has already got some questions as well. So, yeah, watch out. Okay, so we'll start. Oh, you just can't get the sound. You haven't put the batteries in, have you, Libby?
Oh, these batteries.
Okay, we'll just go for it and you can shout. Alright, Denzil, who are you? What do you do? What's your favourite colour?
Whoa.
Sorry? Oh, is it? Okay, sorry.
So my name is Denzil. Again, I just want to say it's good to be with you guys. I've been here since February as an associate pastor here. Thank you, Libby. Is it on? No. Okay, yeah. So I've been here for the last couple of months. Obviously, we've been on lockdown. So I'm an associate pastor here. And yeah, my focus is on evangelism. I think one of the questions later is about what evangelism is.
What are you doing?
I won't rush too fast. But yeah, I'm Denzil. Work here, very new to the church. I'm from Croydon originally, from Thornton Heath. I've just taken that question as well. But yeah, it's pretty much me in a nutshell. But yeah, I've been really burning to really get to know you guys again, because of lockdown I haven't been able to see the young people get to know the wider church. So it's definitely good to be with you guys today. So yeah.
Okay. And your favourite colour is grey?
It's not. My favourite colour is baby blue.
Baby blue?
Baby blue, yeah.
Nice. Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing that soon. Okay, so you're from Thornton Heath originally, born and raised the whole time?
Yeah, so most of my life, I'm quite old now, but I've lived in Thornton Heath most of my life. I was in Willesden Green, which is north-west of London, for the last 3 years, and then I came back to Croydon. So yeah.
Okay, that's cool. And you're in charge of evangelism. What is it?
What is evangelism? Evangelism is very simple. It's basically where you share the gospel of Jesus Christ. So any event or any activity where you're sharing Jesus Christ, the good news of Jesus, is evangelism. So in the church there'll be many kind of activities and things that we would do that's not necessarily evangelism, but any time that you share who Jesus is and the good news about what he did on the cross for us is evangelism.
Okay, that's cool. So, doing evangelism, you studied at Spurgeon's, where I am at the minute?
Yes, 3 years.
Three,
Oh, very long years. Oh wow.
Yeah.
2 more years, yeah.
2 months. We'll get there. And that's sort of where you are. How did you become a Christian? Were you always a Christian? Did you, what happened?
So when I was, from a young age, I've always gone to church with my parents, my mom particularly. I hated going to church, I must say. I didn't like going to church. I know you guys love coming to church and so on, but yeah, I hated going to church when I was younger. And to cut a long story short, when I was 7, I had a real special moment in church actually. And I was in Sunday school, and there was this kind of big minister who was kind of traveled around the world preaching, and he was in the service. And long story short, he had a prophecy about someone in the church. You know what prophecy is? Yeah. So basically like a word from God. But he couldn't see the person's face. So he would be preaching and he would stop and get frustrated. Like, there's someone here that God wants me to speak to, but I can't see their face. So he called all the kids to come from Sunday school. I was about 7 at the time. And we all had to line up on a line. There was about 500 people in the church. And then he started praying for every single kid. I prayed for every single kid. And then he came to me and he said, stand to the side. And in primary school, I was really bad as well. So I know being told to stand to the side probably means I'm going to be in trouble. But I had no idea why I was going to be in trouble. And he told all the kids to go back to Sunday school and I should just stay in the service. So all the kids went, and literally for 30 seconds, he just crossed his arms and looked at me for 30 seconds. Very awkward seconds. And he said to me that I was going to be a pastor at a very young age. He said that I was going to travel around the world sharing Jesus He recognized that, God recognized that I have a disability. I had dyslexia, still have it now, so I struggled to read and write, but he said that God was still going to use me at a very young age to share Jesus. But as a young boy at 7 years old, I had no idea what that really meant. I knew I was going to probably be some sort of pastor, but I had no idea what that really meant. So I went to secondary school and realized that being a pastor is not something that's respected. It's not cool at all. So I put that to one side and I pursued my rugby career. I'm sure you can see from my muscles that I play rugby, actually. So I pursued my rugby career. Thank you, Sam. So I pursued this rugby career, and I was really bad in school, And in year 9, I did something really stupid, and I was going to get permanently excluded from the school. And my mom made an executive decision to send me to Africa, to Ghana, where my parents are from, for a boot camp, a special kind of discipline camp, which I won't get into details. And I really had a powerful encounter with Jesus then. My uncle, who was a pastor in Ghana, really challenged me to check my life. He basically told me that the way I was living my life, if I died that day, I probably won't be with God for eternity. And my whole life, I felt I was a Christian, and that automatically I would go to heaven and be with God. Actually, the life I was living wasn't pleasing to God. So I was really challenged that day, and really kind of had this kind of flashback when I was 7 years old. At the time I was 14, when I was 7 years old, actually I want to become a minister, I want to become a pastor who can tell people about Jesus and so on. There's a lot that I missed out, but that's basically the gist of how I came to faith.
Okay. One more question, and then I'm going to open up the floor, so think of some questions. What difference does it make being a Christian? How do you see it day to day, kind of thing?
Yeah, for me, becoming a Christian was everything. Like at the age of 14, I had so much different thoughts going on in my mind, so much crisis. I had no idea what my identity was. I was trying to find identity on the roads. I was involved in gang activities and 14 Eve as well. So I was trying to find my identity in so many different ways. But when I became a Christian, I found my identity in Jesus. He gave me a purpose. He gave me a reason to actually wake up in the morning and live and breathe. And I recognize that He is my creator and I can connect with Him. So it's really kind of transformed the way I see life, the way I treat people. I try, hopefully now, to treat people with love. I'm not as angry as I used to before. And day by day, I'm seeing that there's more developments that are happening in my life just because I've become a Christian. So that's pretty much it today.
Okay. Guys, it's over to you. Do you have any questions?
So my shoe size is size 8. So yeah, size 8, my shoe size. I was a winger because I was really quick.
Not forward.
No, definitely not forward. Definitely forward. Winger or fullback at times. I'll probably still be in my old church in Wilson Green. So I had a particular responsibility actually for young people and young adults. So I'll probably still be there at my previous church. But it's good to be here at Selsdon. It's a good question. That's the question I think about almost every day. Just because of some of the friends I have. So most of the friends that I had were from secondary school. And just seeing where they were, most likely kind of see where I probably would have been. And some of them are dead, unfortunately. And some are in prison. And some are still involved in different types of various crimes. And others have just had kids very early, so I've had to grow up very quickly. So I think I probably would have been in any of those kind of spheres, either dead, prison, or doing some sort of criminal activities, or just, being a father at a very young age. So thank God for Jesus. That's a very good question. 3 people. Oh, there's too many people I'd love to sit down with. I'd love to sit down with Adam, just because he was the first human being. Just be nice to see what he was up to. Second person would probably be. It's a really good question. Second person would probably be David, King David. He had a really interesting life from young to old. So many interesting things that he went through. So I'd love to be with him, and I think Samson as well. In fact, I'd love to have Samson as a friend, because of course of his strength. I think it would definitely be good to see how strong he was. So I think it's probably 3 people.
got a picture of you and Samson in the kitchen, and you're like, I just can't open the jar, Samson.
Yeah, that's definitely that guy. Yeah.
Okay, I have a question. What did you do at school? How come you were nearly kicked out, or were being kicked out? And are you allowed to share?
I can share, it's quite, yeah. So me, that particular thing that got me kicked out.
What was the last thing?
Again, you guys can't judge me. I'm Christian now, love God. But I pushed the girl down the stairs. I pushed the girl down the stairs, and that was it. And for some reason, the headmaster walked past at that same moment as well. So it's just clear evidence. So but she's okay.
Why did you push it downstairs?
Pass. I think that's all.
One left, guys. One left.
Goodness me, that's a difficult question. I'll probably, it's a very good question. I'll probably ask him why. Why did you go through all the fuss in saving us? Because we're just creatures. Like he created everything, and he created us as human beings. Why did you have to? You could just wipe us all out and just go on with your life and been God. But why did you go through all the hassle to come and save us? I think I'd like to know that.
Okay, so I'm just going to line this up, chat. Denzil's got an album, 2 albums out?
I've got 4. Ooh. Yeah. But
Okay.
some of them I don't really listen to ever. Again, whatever.
Are they the kind of albums that you record when you're 9?
Yeah, well, I was 14 when I started. So I became a Christian when I was 14, and I started doing gospel rap music. And some of them are very cringe. The more up-to-date ones are acceptable, I think.
Okay, and you're on Spotify now?
Yeah.
So, just trying to get a bit more money. So is there a new album coming out?
It's weird, since I've come to Selsdon, I've kind of stopped doing music. I've done a few songs, but I've just kind of stopped doing music. I've not say I've lost the passion, but I just felt like there's different ways to communicate Jesus, and I think I'm focusing more on the preaching element and speaking with people. So I haven't done much music so far, so we'll see how that develops. Okay. I say I'm on a little break. I'm getting married, good question. So I proposed in January. The good news is because of lockdown. Well, I'm not a wedding fan. I'm not the biggest. So I'm not the biggest wedding fan. When I was younger, my mum dragged me to weddings I didn't want to be at. So because I'm not a big wedding fan. But my fiance is a huge Cinderella type, big wedding person. But because of lockdown now, it means that I can have a much cheaper, smaller wedding. So we might be getting married this year. So thank God for that. So I've put on a bit of weight. So I'm someone who, I don't know about you, I can't put on weight. I can eat as much as possible and I won't put on weight. So I've put on a bit of weight. And in lockdown, I've been doing a lot of reading, a lot of reflections. And I think because of lockdown, so many issues have kind of sprung up, which has kind of caused me to reflect on. But I think it's, good question. It's too many. Genesis. I feel like if you can kind of understand the book of Genesis, you can almost understand the whole Bible, because there's some real deep things in Genesis. So
You predisposed to copy going.
Do you have an example?
Well, eye for an eye, love one another. Jesus again in the wilderness committing adultery, and God burns 2 boys in the temple for putting wrong incense in his burn.
Probably should have asked for the example.
I think to generalize, I can go into those details a lot. I think When we're looking at the Old Testament, particularly the laws, we see that God gave the laws to a particular people. So he didn't give it to the whole world. It was the people of Israel that were meant to keep these laws. And then later on we see that God, of course, they can't keep the laws. And the laws are quite, I mean, if you look at it, you're thinking it's quite harsh. Especially with that particular incident of those two guys, Aaron's sons, who put basically something that God said they should have put into the temple, this false fire, strange fire, and they just got, lit up. And other situations like that as well. But then we see that there's a particular passage which I'm speaking on Sunday in Jeremiah where God speaks about there's going to be a new covenant where these people don't have to basically live up to those laws anymore, but God is going to put the laws in their hearts so that they can be transformed, because no one can keep these laws, of course. It's more, not just the 10, it's 600 plus laws. And then when Jesus comes, he kind of fulfills those laws and becomes the ultimate sacrifice. So these people are no longer bound by those old laws anymore. So I think for us, I think we can learn so much from the Old Testament, we can learn so much from the laws, but we're not bound by the laws. We know that through Jesus and the Holy Spirit living in us, he's put the laws in our hearts so that we can be transformed by him daily. So that's kind of how I see it. But I can go into more details with each of those, and there are big topics, but just to generalize, I focus more on the new covenant that God has given to us. I think I want to get to know the church more. Again, I was here for about a month and a bit, and then the whole lockdown situation happened. So I'd love to, that's why it's good for me to be here, so I can get to see you guys, get to know you guys. But I'd love to get to know the church more. I know there's so many amazing people in the church. So my priority is really to get alongside people and just catch up with the church. So, everyone's gonna laugh. Wow. And this is on camera as well. So my favorite film is Matilda. I don't know why I watch Matilda over and over and over and over again and say the lines as well. So from young I've just been watching Matilda. Probably when I go up today, I'm probably gonna watch it again. I love Matilda.
Does your fiance?
Okay.
No, she doesn't.